Alright guys, this video is on the cost of goods sold. This is the last the last business expense that we're going to be looking at before we start doing profit and loss statements, which is the last thing you need to do before the test. So the cost of goods sold is a significant cost for businesses that sell goods, and it's calculated for any particular year. It's best to think of the cost of goods sold as how much it actually cost the business to buy the stuff it sold. So how much it cost the business to buy the items it sold in a particular year. Right now, for this particular idea, cost of goods sold, we're not worried about the selling price that the business is selling the things it sold for. We're only worried about how much the items were bought for by the business. So it's important to have a think about what happened last year in the business, because usually business will have stock left over, and that is often what a stock take is for a business to check and see how much stock it has left that it might be able to sell next year. So let's say a business had 5 of these squares left over from last year, and let's say those each cost $1 to buy in, so you have $5 value of opening stock. So before, our definition of value was a particular thing for the pricing structures topic, but it's different here, so please don't get them confused. This is just the way that the book terminology is. It says $5 value of the opening stock, but really it's the $5 total cost that the business used to pay for these things. Each of these I'm pretending cost the business $1 to buy in. So that leads into the current year, because we are doing cost of goods sold for the current year. Now, that business bought this stuff, and he is planning to sell it this current year. So that is still a cost. This current year he has those 5, and he is able to sell them again. So that is a $5 value of opening stock. He's going to open with his $5 worth of stock from last year. That's known as the opening stock. But to keep the profits up and to make sure the business is running okay, remember, we're ignoring the selling price, but in reality they're making a profit on these. They might buy in more stock to sell. Okay, you don't want to just sell the 5 that you started off with from last year. You'd want to sell a lot to make a big profit and do well for yourself. Well, let's just pretend he buys in $5 worth of purchases of stock, so he has more things to sell and more things to make a profit on. This total of things that he's brought in for the current year is known as the value of stock available for sale. And what is it? It's $10 value of stock. Why? Because each of these 10 things that he either started off with at the beginning of the year and brought in cost him $1 each. So you have $10 value of stock that he is able to sell. He's got $10 worth of stuff to sell on his shelves for the year. Now we take the next step, and it's still the current year. He has $10 value of stock. I should start it on the next line, because you don't want to have any untrue maths. If I continued along the side, then it would be wrong. So I'm going to draw those 10 boxes again. This is his $10 value of stock, 10 $1 items that's how much it cost him to buy them in. That's what he has available for sale. To carry that on, and let's say he sold let's say he sold 8 things. He would have a closing stock of 2, because it's 10 items minus 8 items, so he's got $2 value of closing stock. And so this leads us to the idea of cost of goods sold. How much did it cost the business to sell those 8 sold items? What is a way of working that out? Well, if he had $10 worth to sell, $10 value of stock to sell, and had $2 value of closing stock. This is the costs of the items that he bought in. Well, if you subtract the second from the first, you'll have $8 value of items sold. Okay, remember how each one of these things we have said cost the business $1 to bring in. Okay, and he started off the year with 5 of those things, so $5 value. He brought in $5 more value of items, so he had $10 worth of stuff on his shelves ready to sell. Now he sold 8 items and ended the year with $2 worth of the closing stock. So the cost of the items, in this situation we call it the value, the cost of those items that he sold cost him $8. So it cost him $8 to sell this stuff. He might be making a profit, we don't know the details. All we're interested in is knowing that it cost him $8 to actually sell those items. So what you have in the book is a series of formula that you use one right after the other, which is value of opening stock equals value of opening stock plus cost of purchases of stock equals the value of stock for sale. That's just saying that the value of the stuff you have left over from last year plus the value of anything that you purchased during the year is going to be how much you have available for sale. And then this is the formula that leads on from that. If you have value of stock for sale and you take away what you had at the end left over that you didn't sell, you will have the cost of goods sold. Or, in other words, the cost of bringing in the things that you actually sold for that year. So don't think of it as like a zero-sum situation. We're completely ignoring the fact that they're selling them for a profit. Right now, for the idea of cost of goods sold, all we're worried about is how much the business paid to get those items in. So unfortunately there's a little bit of a confusing use of the word value, okay, because we made a big point of it in the pricing structures, but keep the idea separate and you should be okay. So it's just using this 2 different formulas here, and that should help you out with exercise 3C.12 leading into profit and loss statements. So hopefully that's helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.